Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. A very happy Friday to all of you, and a huge shout out to my newest patrons, Yue, Byron, and Michael. Thank you guys very much. So real quick, Chamath did tweet out with regard to yesterday. To set the record straight, my comments yesterday about Tesla and throughout 2021 were not tied to any ownership in the company. I've not owned any Tesla since before 2021. I was speaking only as an enthusiastic supporter of the company and its mission. Now, the last thing I wanted to say about this topic was that to everybody that said they didn't really see a problem with what Chamath was doing, look, I have no problem with however Chamath wants to invest his money. If there are better opportunities elsewhere, that's great. The problem was he straight up lied about it. In that January interview, point blank, he was asked, "So you're going to ride Tesla another 2 to 3x. He danced around the question like a politician and ended it with selling "don't sell a share." And only now, after he's been called out publicly, is he saying that, well, it was only as an enthusiastic supporter. In my opinion, in that January 7th interview, when he was asked, are you going to ride it another 2 to 3x? At that point, if he was already exited from the stock, he should have just said, I'm already sold out. But we have now belabored this topic more than enough, so let's move on. Sawyer Merritt shared that there was news of the refreshed Model X being spotted on the Fremont logistics lot yesterday morning. It's unclear where they're headed, but full-on Model X production should start in Q4. It seems as though only a few have been spotted. There is this source video. I've included the link below if you want to watch it. It's only about 2 minutes long. Next up, a quick note on Tesla in Israel. As you can see, in 2021, the sales of EVs in Israel grew by 528%. Yes, albeit from a low number, but the Model 3 is indeed the best-selling EV in the country. In the first 3 quarters of 2021, 7,800 EVs entered Israel's roads, which represents a 528% growth over the prior year, of which Tesla makes up a 60% market share. Next up, quick anecdote from Jason on Twitter. Tesla delivered so many cars here in September. In New Zealand, supplies of registration plates ran out. They doubled year-to-date 2021 deliveries in a single month. Unreal. And more from Sawyer. So Tesla will be opening their first dedicated vehicle delivery center in Japan, located in Ariake, on November 1st of this year. The official email from Tesla Japan is below. A couple of my followers who ordered Teslas reached out to me with the great news. So far, Tesla has had a pretty limited presence in Japan. They've been importing the Model 3 for some time now, but the supercharging infrastructure is pretty limited, and this will be the first delivery center, of course, in Japan. So the Japanese market is pretty tough. I'm considering doing a deep dive on the topic over on Patreon, but either way, it is great to see this news for Tesla. Expansion is always good. Now, you guys know me and my love of the Tesla solar roof and images and flyovers, but we are actually here today because Elon was asked after posting that, will the number of beta users expand this Friday today like originally stated, or is it going to be pushed back to align with 10.2? Elon clarified, pushed a week to align with 10.2, so it looks like another 7 days for the wider release of the FSD beta. So I think a lot of us were expecting this, but it's good to get confirmation. We got a quick note from Electric about Tesla ruffling some feathers with regard to third-party repair shops. So this is kind of a long, convoluted story. I actually just did a deep dive over on Patreon on this very topic, but I just want to highlight a few quick things here. So earlier this year, Tesla did launch its own in-house collision repair shop that offered body repairs. Tesla has about 15 of those as of now. But the third-party Tesla certified body shops, which are different than Tesla's in-house body shops, hence third-party, are still the most important part of Tesla's collision repair. Repairer-driven news is reporting that collision repair shop owners and employees are reporting Tesla emails that are recruiting their certified Tesla technicians and estimators and even their acquaintances with the same resume. The end of this is a bit confusing with the same resume. I don't know if they mean Tesla's email referring to that as a resume or what. I don't think it's important either way. But the gist is that Tesla might be trying to recruit some of these technicians that have been certified and trained by Tesla that are supposed to be working at these independent third-party repair shops, but now they're arguing they're poaching those employees for Tesla's in-house repair shops. But either way, as mentioned, it's a very convoluted topic. You can argue both sides. I would be curious as to know what you guys think if you have an opinion at all. And if you're interested in that space, I did do a deep dive over on Patreon. Next up, we get another weird twist in the Lordstown Motors saga. They're now selling their factory to a Taiwan-based Foxconn technology group who apparently they're teaming up with to continue to make EVs, but they're going to be basically partnering with Foxconn. And it's rumored that Foxconn has an off-the-shelf EV platform ready for use, and its first customer will be Fisker, who you've probably heard of. They're still bringing Fisker, their Ocean electric SUV, to the market, and they're also now, Fisker, working with Foxconn to produce what it calls Project Pear. All we know at this point, it'll be a $30,000 EV if it ever comes to market, and Foxconn is going to help Fisker build that. Let's just say I'm not betting my money that we'll see either of these vehicles at any level of volume production anytime soon. Next up, I have to give credit where it is due.
You mentioned competition and we mentioned innovation, and when you put those two combined against Ford, you have Tesla. So I'm wondering if you think, Jim, it's fair to compare Ford to Tesla or to any other electric vehicle company when this space is still heating up.
I respect what Tesla has done. I think Tesla's been one of the most important and positive things that's happened to our industry. And we love competition at Ford.
Finally, even though he was asked point blank, somebody with some positive comments, not from Tesla, about Tesla. So here we are with our Tesla stock weekly recap. So last week we talked a lot about this 760 level. We'll get to that in a second, but early in the week it did break through. It had smooth sailing all the way up, almost touched that 800, which yes is going to be a key level to watch going forward. Those big numbers, as weird as it may sound, do serve as resistance and support levels. But anyways, we got kicked down and now we are trading in this 770 to 790 range. And Tesla stock performance for the week, we are down as of time of recording right around 1%, about 86 basis points. But let's circle back. As I said last week, we talked a lot about this key zone right here, this 760 to 765 level. What did I say? I said, if we get a breakthrough and a close above the 760, 765 level, we should see a nice run up. Guys, look, I don't get it right all the time, but that is exactly what happened. We had this close as of Friday, right above that 765, and then it shot up. And as you can see, right after that close at 765, it did indeed run up almost 4% or $30 per share. And what do we do after breaking through a previous resistance level? Well, as you can see, this 760, 765 was resistance for a long time. We have since broken through, and now we're going to see and hopefully test it as a new support level. So of course, the hope is that Tesla stock holds this 760 level or somewhere around it. It's not going to be perfect. Consolidates for a while, and I would imagine we're going to be testing the new resistance of around 800. That should be a key level, so we might fight in this 760 to 800 level for some time. But please remember, these segments are not to try to help you guys make a decision. I personally would just buy and hold Tesla for the long term. These are just to educate us all on the market, what's going on in the short term. Maybe it can help you with entry and exit points if you are, more of a swing or a day trader, or maybe you just want to lock in some profits. Who knows what your reasoning is, but like I said, these are really just meant to be educational. But look, we have to keep things in context here. So if we go back to August 17th, not even 2 months ago, you can see at the peak, Tesla ran up about 23% in less than 2 months. So, everybody that's wanting Tesla just to race back up to $800, $900, $1,000 a share, we just have to be patient and remember where we're at, where we're coming from. And even with the dip from the local highs of this week, we are still up 17% in just 44 days. And zooming out to a 1-year chart, what we generally speaking like to see is this slower, steady growth on the uptrend, whereas these type of rallies that are faster and more accelerated and aggressive, you tend to have this on the backside more frequently. As always, not all the time, but it's definitely something to watch for. So this is the type of growth that we like to see as we climb back up and approach the all-time highs around $890 per share. So I have some obligations that I have to get to today, so I'll have to cut this short, but we will be watching to see if Tesla can hold the 760 area. And if it does hold this 760 area or zone, not perfectly, but in that range, then hopefully we can soon thereafter retest those 800 levels, which should be a new level of resistance for some time. And no, not just because it's a big round number, but if you go back to January of this year, we spent a few days testing it as a support level. bounced off of it, then later tested it again as a support level once again for a few days in that 800 range, ultimately breaking down below to the downside. So we'll see where the deliveries come in this weekend, and then more importantly, the financials later this month in a few weeks. But that is all for today, guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe out there, and a big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.